All right, everybody, we're going to begin laying on our mats, and we're going to start in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So this is a reclined bound angle pose. So start to lean back, get yourself all the way down onto your back. Have kind of a soft bend to your knees, and then walk your soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop out wide. And depending on how your low back feels, this might feel just right, or you press through the tops of your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades down, press through the outer edges of your feet, lift up your hips, slide your tailbone underneath, and let your knees come wide. Your arms can be wide out to the side, or if you'd like to even accentuate more, mimic the shape of your legs with your hands, so your elbows come out to the side and your fingertips touch above your head. We're going to get into a little bit of our shoulders today as well. So if this doesn't feel fully accessible right now, don't worry about it. We're going to play with some shapes like that. Whenever you find a place where you feel a little bit more comfortable, where you can feel still for several moments, allow your eyes to close or simply soften your eye gaze. Soften the muscles that are in your face. And then take a scan of your body, starting from the very top of your head and then going down. Becoming softer, notice if you're holding tension in your arms or in your thighs. Maybe in your belly. And see if you can allow yourself to rest in this position, physically rest. And then take note of your physicality. Are there any spots on your body that feel more tight than typical, warm? And if there are any spots that feel a little tighter, a little bit less fluid, send your breath to those areas, and on exhale, see if you can soften, release a little bit more. And then send your attention to your breath, allowing inhales to become larger and exhales full. Noticing if you can find an equality in your breath so that it is expanding on all sides. So as you breathe in, not only might you feel your belly and your chest rise, but also feels as though your back is pressing into the mat, that the sides of your body are expanding outward as well. And then send your thoughts to your thoughts. And I invite you to set a dedication for this practice. In the same theme of letting go, perhaps you would like to dedicate your practice to that, to aparigraha, non-attachment, non-stickiness. And if something else is better for you right now, then allow your dedication to be that. Perhaps it's a person or a concept. And then we'll take several breaths together as a community to seal these dedications that we've set. Take a very deep, full breath in all the way. Exhale, release. Again, another full breath in. Exhale, let go. And then one final time on your own. If your eyes are closed, start to blink your eyes open. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs and start to walk your feet back up so that your knees come toward each other. First, just very gently pull your knees into your chest. Maybe take your hands to your knees and then rock your knees in circles in one direction and then another. And then keeping your right knee in, extend your left leg out. We're going to take a very simple supine twist. Take your knee to the left. Right arm out to the side, adjust so you'll have a counterbalance, and your gaze over to the right. Let the weight of your right leg facilitate this twist. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center, left knee in, right leg comes out, twist to the opposite side, left arm comes out, free counterbalance. Again, if you want a little bit more assistance with the weight of your left leg, take your right hand to your left thigh. On an exhale, head and knee back to center once again. Bend both knees and place them into the mat, and then pull your right knee into your chest. We're going to take a half happy baby here. So with your right hand, grasp the back of your calf, or come all the way up to the outside of your foot, and just gently pull your knee down towards your right armpit. And then maybe sway a little bit left to right, just a little bit of movement. And then also press up through your right heel, and your right toes are pulling down towards your face as you draw your foot and your knee down. Release that foot, place it next to the other, and then pull your left knee to your chest, your left hand to your shin, calf, or outside of your left foot. Again, press up through your left heel, pull your toes down toward your face. Your left knee is pulling down towards the mat, towards your armpit. Rock a little from left to right. Your right leg is there to stabilize you. And then release that foot, place it next to the other. We're going to do a brief hand to toe pose without strap. So pull your right knee into your chest, extend the leg up towards the ceiling. Take your your hands behind your thigh. Perhaps you want to go up all the way to your shin. If it's comfortable, extend your left leg out in front of you. Right toes towards your face, heel up toward the ceiling. We're not going to do the full series, just this version of it. In this version, however, if you notice that your right hip is coming away, maybe bend your left knee a bit so that your hips can both be, your pelvis is more flat onto the mat. All right, start to bend into the right knee, place it down into the mat, pull your left knee in, extend your heel up toward the ceiling, leg doesn't have to be straight. Hands to the backs of your thigh or the back of your calf. And then if you'd like, extend the right leg out. Again, if you notice your left hip is rising up, then place your right foot back down again. Use the strength of your arms to pull your left thigh closer to your chest while pressing up through your left heel. This probably means you won't pull in as tight. Maybe even play a little bit with it. What happens when you bend your knee, re-straighten it, start to explore. All right, then release that leg. Place both feet into the mat. We're going to do a figure four pose, right ankle over left thigh. Pull your left thigh in close to you. Weave your right hand into the hole that you've created. Same as before, you're flexing your right foot, your right knee working away from you as you draw your left thigh in. Release that foot down and cross. Take it to the other side. Left ankle over right thigh. See if you can remember the way that your hands are crossed, if you had a clasp behind your thigh or your shin, and then switch it out. All right, release, place your foot down, uncross your legs, and then you're going to rock up and down the length of your spine and roll over all the way to a seat. And then we're going to move to Vajrasana pose. So this is Thunderbolt pose, simply sitting on your knees. And if this is uncomfortable for you, then maybe take a Sukhasana instead. Take your arms out in front of you, interlace your fingertips, and then place the insides of your hands forward. So your thumbs are down and you've got this woven hand thing going on. Keeping your low ribs in, shoulders down away from your ears, start to wind your hands up toward the ceiling. We're going to get to a place where maybe your arms are alongside your biceps. It's okay if it doesn't fully happen. And again, notice if you're starting to arc your back in order to get there, take it out of your back. Draw your floating ribs in, lift up higher through the crown of your head, shoulder blades down. Keep pressing up through your hands. Then bend your elbows, uncross, take it all the way down. Cool. Rock over onto your hands and knees for a tabletop pose for some cow and cat. Spread fingertips wide. On a breath in, drop your belly, lift up your hips and your heart gaze up. Exhale, press through hands and knees. Look back towards your knees or your belly. Really curl in. Inhale, swim your heart forward, cow. Exhale, press up into cat. Several more times your own breath. And then after your next cat pose, come back down to that neutral spine. You're going to shift the weight over to your left knee, and you're going to lift up your right knee. And you're going to start to make some circles with your knee. So just moving into some of that hip mobility we were talking about earlier. So reaching your knee up and back and around and really pulling it in towards your side like it's reaching for your tricep. And then take it in the opposite direction. Reverse. All right, and then pull your knee all the way out. You want to place your foot to the outside of your right hand. Might take a couple steps to get there. Totally okay. So wrap your inner elbows forward. You might need to be on your finger pads for this. You might have come all the way down to your palms. And then tuck your back toes, lift up your back knee. So you're lifting up to the inside of your thigh. You want to make sure that your heel isn't like flipping out to one side or the other. You've got a long straight line. And then let's make this a little bit more interesting. Reach your right arm out. All right, and then maybe play with your balance. Reach your left arm back so that your fingertips are reaching towards your toes. All right, place your left hand back onto the mat. Low lunge twist. Twist your right fingertips up. Right hip gently pulling back. Lift up through your right fingertips. And then on an exhale, take your right hand down, wiggle your foot in, step your right foot back to meet your left. You're in a high plank pose, and then knees up or down, lower all the way down to the mat. We're gonna take a backwards breath cobra. So arms out to the side, finger pads, elbows up, untuck your toes. Take your forehead down, inhale. On an exhale, press through hands and feet, wave your way up. Inhale, unravel, full cobra. Exhale, take it down. Continue with your own breath. Once more. Bring your hands in closer to you. Press your back up to your hands and your knees. One round of cow, and then one round of cat. Come back to the neutral spine, and we're going to take the hip mobility on the other side. So shift the weight to the right knee and bring your left leg out to the side. And then really work the biggest circle you can, trying to reach your knee even all the way up to your left tricep. Remember to keep your fingertips spread wide so you've got a really firm foundation. And then take the other direction as well. All right, and then when you're ready, you're going to place your left foot to the outside of your left hand. So using some of that mobility that you just created. Fingertips spread wide, tuck your back toes, lift up your back knee. Scissoring your thighs together, find that strength. Make sure that you've got your heel spiked up and it's not splaying out to one side or the other. And then we're going to make things interesting again. Lift your left arm out, palm facing in, thumb up. Shift the weight, scissor your thighs. And then if you'd like, reach your right hand back so your right fingertips are reaching towards your heel. Keep lifting up to the inner right thigh. And then place your right hand back down onto the mat. Low lunge twist, left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Feel free to gaze up towards the left fingertips as well. Keep your left shoulder working away from your ear. And then on an exhale, take your left hand down, wiggle your foot in, step your left foot back to meet your right ear in a high plank pose. On an exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. We're gonna take that backwards breath cobra once again. Arms out wider than your mat, onto your finger pads, elbows up, forehead down. Start to move when you're ready. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, wave up, press through tops of feet and hands. Inhale, unfurl. Exhale, wave it back down. And then continue. Once more. And then bring your arms in closer to you. We're going to take a Sphinx pose. So you're going to come up onto your forearms, elbows below your shoulders, fingertips spread wide. You can take your legs a little bit wider apart if you'd like. Sometimes close together causes a little bit too much compression. Shrug your shoulders back, and then spread your fingertips, press down through your forearms, Reach your chest forward like it were a cobra pose, but then also engage your belly. So you might feel like it takes out a little bit of a curve in your low back. That's absolutely fine. Press through the tops of your feet, even your pinky toes. And then when you're ready on an exhale, swing your elbows out to the side, come down onto one cheek. Then take your left arm out to the side, thumb in line with your eyebrow. So your arm is perpendicular to you. So you're kind of making a half T shape. You're going to press your right hand, roll over your left shoulder, and let your head become heavy. Your right hip will rock up, and you might come to a place where you bend your right knee and place your foot into the mat. Use your right hand for just a little bit of resistance, but mostly balance. Attempt to keep your left hand stable where it is. And then on an exhale, roll down towards your belly. Reach your right arm out to the side. Again, thumb in line with elbow, check it out. Make sure your hand is just a little bit further ahead above your shoulder. Turn your head to the left and then rock over onto your right side, maybe bending your left knee and placing your foot behind you. And then come right back down onto your belly. Press your hips up and back to your heels through a tabletop pose, child's pose. Reach your arms out long, long, long in front of you. Come up onto your finger pads in this child's pose. Reach your inner elbows up. And then when you're ready, press up to your hands and knees once again. Realign your shins, tuck your toes, press up and back to your first downward facing dog. Find yourself in your downward facing dog shape. Maybe bend your knees really deeply. Press your chest back to your thighs. Let your heels drift down toward the mat, but knees are perfectly fine. Wrap your inner elbows up toward the ceiling and breathe. On an inhale, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. So you're in a tripod dog. Bend your knee, open up through your hips. Keep your right shoulder in the same plane as your left. Drop your heel towards your bum. Re-straighten the right leg. And on an exhale, take your knee to your right elbow, shift it forward. Inhale, take it up to the tripod dog once again. Exhale, place your foot next to the other, downward facing dog. Shift the weight, left leg comes up and back. Bend your knee, open up through your hips, left shoulder still in the same plane as the right. Drop your heel towards your bum. Inhale, re-straighten. Exhale, take your knee towards your left tricep. Maybe even touch it. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, place your foot next to the other, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Ragdoll pose first, so make sure your feet have some distance. Bend your knees, get soft, get low. Clasp your elbows, bob your head. And then release your fingertips back down toward the mat if you took a clasp. We're gonna take 3 halfway lifts. On an inhale, fingertips to your shins or your mat. Roll your shoulder blades on your back, tighten your belly, look forward, inhale. Exhale, chest to thighs. Press your feet down and away so you're really using your quads to assist you. Again, inhale, halfway lift, wave long. Exhale, fold. Last time like that, breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips, send your elbows up toward the ceiling, roll your shoulder blades on your back, look forward, inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, take your arms alongside your body, find your first Tadasana of this class. So maybe wave a little bit front and back, shifting the weight from the heels to the balls of the feet. And then left to right as well. Find that center spot. And we're gonna flow through a sun salutation A. Inhale, reach your arms out and up, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Take it all the way forward, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, take it back down. Step back to the top of a plank pose. On an exhale, lower to or towards your mat, elbows in. Untuck your toes for a cobra or an upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, make sure your thighs are lifting away. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settle into your breath. Then inhale, bend knees, look towards the top of your mat. Now on an exhale, travel to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart. Exhale to honor yourself and bow. Press through your feet, reach your arms out and up. Use all the strength from your legs to find expansion upward towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then arms alongside your body, Tadasana, 3 breaths. Sun salutation B, bring your toes together, heels slightly apart. Sit low, squeeze your knees together, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to the top of a plank pose. Option to stay here or move through a vinyasa with me. On an exhale, lower 2 or toward the mat. Untuck toes. Inhale for your cobra or your upper facing dog. Exhale, take it up and back. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot in, pivot it so you're at 45-degree angle. Step your right foot forward, warrior 1, press down through your feet. Inhale, lift up. We'll be here for just a little bit. Shoulders release down. Pull your ribs in. Deepen the bend in your front leg. Exhale. Take your hands down to the mat, pivot onto the ball of your back foot. Step your right foot back. Vinyasa if you choose. From your down dog, step your right foot in slightly, angle it down, step your left foot forward, warrior 1, root to rise. We'll be here for several breaths. So find your first warrior 1. And then exhale, plant your hands down, pivot onto the ball of your back foot, step left foot back to meet right. Vinyasa if you choose, meet you back in down dog. Five breaths here. After your 5th breath, on the exhale, bend your knees, look towards the top of the mat, and then make your way forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Sit your hips back, bring your knees toward each other. Exhale, come up to standing, hands to heart. Arms alongside your body, Tadasana, 5 breaths. You're gonna flow your way back to downward facing dog. My recommendation is to do a half sun salutation or take any flow that you would like. Very deep breath in and a very full exhale. On an inhale, lift your right leg towards the ceiling, come up onto your left toes, place your foot between your hands toward right thumb, angle left foot down for warrior 1. Keep your thigh low, lift your way all the way up. So left hip is gently drawing forward, allowing you to deepen the bend in your right knee. Right hip pulls back, engage your core. Shoulder blades back and down, pinkies facing toward each other. Straighten the front leg, reach up a little bit higher. Notice if the straight leg, you can square your hips even more. And then on an exhale, you're going to reach forward, eventually placing your hands down toward the mat. We're taking a pyramid pose. If you need to step your left foot in, use knee props, or bend your knees, please do that. Keep the flat spine first, right hip pulls back, lift up on your kneecaps, and on an exhale, bring your chin towards your shin. Inhale, lift up halfway. Pull your toes towards your face so that your heel is on the mat, and then start to reach your chin down again. If you're like me, this greatly reduces how far I can tilt. All right, release the foot back down into the mat. Bend into your right knee. Bring your hands out so that your wrists are generally below your shoulders. Pivot onto the back foot so that your toes and heels are all facing in the same line. You're going to look forward. We're going to step forward to a warrior 3. So you're going to shift your weight forward, take your hands out with you, lift up your left leg as much as you would like. Find some activity through the leg. Take your right hand to your right hip, notch it up. This is going to draw your left hip down. You can keep your hands down toward the mat or take it up towards both hips, or bring arms back out behind you, or any other variation that you would like. All right, bend through the right knee, and then step your left foot all the way back, coming to a high lunge. Lift your arms up when you're ready. So first high lunge, so maybe find a little bit of movement. Deep bend through the right knee. Maybe wiggle the left leg back. Okay, straighten the front leg. So you're in this kind of like variation thing. Bring your arms out in front of you so your palms are up and your thumbs are away, okay? On an inhale, you're gonna bend through your right knee and bring your arms out to the side. Stay here for the full exhale. Inhale, straighten legs, straighten arms, lift up. Exhale, bring your arms out in front of you, rebend the knee. Inhale, take your arms, thumbs back. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, reach your arms out in front of you, bend to the front knee. Inhale, draw your thumbs back. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, take it back up towards the ceiling. And then rebend to the front knee. You're in a high lunge. Exhale, take your foot down toward the hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Vinyasa, if you'd like, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, left leg up and back, long, straight, strong, tripod dog. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose and place your foot between your hands. Step your right foot in slightly so you can angle it down 45 degrees. Keep your left thigh low and then lift all the way up. Warrior 1 on this side. Same kinds of things. Right hip foot pulls forward, sit low, press to the outer edge of your right foot, shoulder blades are down. All right, straighten the front leg. We're moving towards a pyramid pose. So with a straighter leg, you might find left hip pulls back, reach forward, tilt forward, flat spine. It's okay if your knee's bent to maintain that flat spine. And eventually hands come down. Again, maybe bending your knees so that you can have a firm connection or perhaps use some blocks. Keep the flat spine here, lots of length to the sides of your body. And then on an exhale, you're gonna start to reach your chin toward your shin. Notice if the tension is starting to take up residency, some in your body, maybe your face. Release it. Find the letting go. You needn't attach to that. If it's something that normally happens, maybe it's something that doesn't serve you anymore. Inhale, lift up halfway, pull your toes towards your face, and then redescend your chest towards your thigh, chin towards chin. All right, release the foot right back down. Pivot onto the ball of your back toes and then cycle so that your heels and toes are all in the same direction. Take your hands forward a little bit. Again, we're gonna move to the warrior 3. So shift your weight forward, right leg lifts up first. Take your left hand to your left hip, knock it up so your right hip drops. And then if you'd like, take your right hand to your hip as well. And then continuing forward, arms behind you, or another variation with your arms for this warrior 3. Keep pressing down through your left foot. Find activity through the right. And then a little bend to your left knee so you can reach your right leg all the way back. High lunge, arms lift as you're ready. Awesome, straighten your front leg. A little bit of relief. Again, you might notice that your right hip comes forward a little bit more as you do that. Your heel is still spiked. All right, you're going to reach your arms out in front of you, lower your left knee. Inhale, take your arms out to the side, thumbs lead. Exhale, stay. Inhale, lift up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, arms out in front of you, rebend. Inhale, arms out to the side. Stay for the exhale. Keep your low ribs in. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, arms reach out. Bend into the front knee. Thumbs come back. Inhale, stay for the exhale. Inhale, come up toward the ceiling. And then exhale. You're going to rebend into your high lunge. On an exhale, tap your hands down toward the mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Vinyasa, if you'd like, will mean down dog. Stay in your down dog for at least 3 breaths. And at the end of your third exhale, child's pose or Vajrasana. Find a pose that is restful for you. Give yourself 3 more rounds of breath in the posture you've chosen. At the end of your third exhale, make your way to a tabletop pose. From your tabletop pose, we're going to take 2 rounds of cow and cat. Traditionally, inhale, drop belly, lift up hips and heart. Exhale, press up to cat. Again, inhale, descend your belly, reach your heart forward. Exhale, press up into cat. This time, keeping your shins as they are, shift your hips back towards your heels. Modified child. Inhale, rise to knees, palms lift up. Exhale, bow, modified child's pose. Keeping your heart low, inhale, slide it forward to your cow pose. Allow your arms to straighten. Exhale, press up through your cat. Send your hips back to your heels, lots of space. Again, inhale, rise to knees, palms lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, slither forward to your cow. Exhale, press up to your cat. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back, downward facing dog once again. We're gonna take that same sequence, we're gonna add a couple things to it. So if you ever wanna move ahead or behind, you know that you can. On an inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands towards your thumb. Make your way to warrior 1. Straighten the front leg, pull your right hip back, reach forward, reach, and then eventually your hands come down to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deepen into your pyramid pose. Lift up on your kneecaps, press to the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale, lift up halfway, pull your right toes towards your face. Try it again. All right, release the foot down to the mat, bend into the front knee, spike up onto the back heel. Shift your weight forward and your hands forward. Warrior 3, left leg lifts. Take one hand up. I like to start with my right hand, so my left hand is there to stabilize me, and then left, and then full expression as you're ready. Just breathe. Things are gonna get fun. Okay, you're gonna keep your left leg lifted as best you can. Bend through your right knee, come up to standing, and then we're gonna move to a tree pose. So left knee comes out to the side. Feel free to use your left hand to put your foot to the inside of your right leg, wherever feels right. Hands to hips first. Find your stability, and then work away from it, challenging every step of the way, maybe hands to heart. Perhaps another arm variation, maybe arms overhead. Okay, things are gonna get fun again. Take your hands back to your hips or your heart. So in towards your midline. Take your left knee towards the front of the room. Keep it lifted, bend through your right knee, step your left foot all the way back so you're back to that high lunge that we had practiced before. As you're ready, arms lift toward the ceiling. Straighten the front leg. On an exhale, bring your arms out in front of you, palms up. Inhale, bend the knee, bring your thumbs out behind you. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, take your arms out in front of you, rebend. Inhale, add thumbs to the back, stay for the exhale. Inhale, come up toward the ceiling. One more time. Exhale, bend to the front knee, arms out. Inhale, thumbs toward the back, Stay for the exhale. Inhale, come up towards the ceiling. From here, you're going to enter a warrior two. So you're going to open up to the left side of your mat, opening up the angle of your left foot. Shrug it all the way down. Draw your hip tips towards your rib tips, and notice if you can sink a little bit more deeply into the right thigh. We're going to move to an extended side angle. So surf everything towards the right, and then either your right forearm comes down to your left thigh, or to your right thigh rather, or your fingertips come all the way down to the mat. Left hand up towards ceiling, or unfurl it, swing it around so that your bicep is over your left ear, pinky down. Keep pressing to the outer edge of your left foot, long straight line. Look down towards your right foot. On an exhale, pivot all the way down, left hand comes down, left heel comes up. So we've got our right foot to the outside once again. We're taking a lizard pose here. Option to have your knee up or down. I'm going to select knee down for myself. Whichever option you've taken, maybe your toes are slightly out to the right. Inhale, find length through your spine. Exhale, deepen, either bending your elbows slightly, finding a proper forearms onto the mat. Press your hands back up into the mat so you lift up. If your back knee is down, tuck your toes, lift up your back knee. Find a little bit of momentum. You're going to step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Moving toward malasana pose, maybe one step, maybe many. Toes out, heels in, and then start to descend your hips down, elbows to the insides of your thighs, palms toward each other. If you find that your heels are lifting up, take your yoga mat and then roll it over as many times as you need so you can step your heels on it and you've got some foundation. What is something that you can let go of in this pose? And when you're ready, take your hands down to the mat, lift your hips up, heel toe your feet in toward each other. Ragdoll pose, 3 breaths. And release your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart. Exhale, fold to honor yourself. Press through both feet, reach your arms out and up, palms press above you. And on an exhale, take your hands to your heart. You can keep them here, bring them alongside your body. 5 breaths. When you're ready, we're going to flow back to downward facing dog. I'll provide guidance. Also, if you'd like, you can move to your own rhythm. Inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Swan dive it down. Inhale, halfway lift, press through both feet. Exhale, fold. Step back to top of plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Elbows graze your rib cage, untuck toes. Inhale for a back bend, reach your heart forward and up. Exhale, lift up and back. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. When you're ready, inhale, left leg up and back, lift up through your right toes, give yourself lots of distance. Exhale, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Warrior 1, as you're ready, step your right foot forward. Sit low, shrug your shoulders down away from you. And then straighten the front leg. Pull your left hip back even further. Reach forward, flat spine, best you can. Bend your knee if you need it to get there. And then take your hands all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen, get out of your own way. Exhale, deepen into your pyramid pose. Inhale, lift up halfway. Pull your toes towards your face and then take it again. Release your foot down to the mat. All right, bend into your left knee, pivot onto your back toes, all toes and heels facing in the same direction. Walk your hands forward. We're going to move to the warrior three. First, start by lifting the right leg up, left hand to left hip. Notch it up so your right hip drops down. Pull your low belly in, get really, really strong. And then if and when you're ready, lift right hand up, perhaps arms behind you, or if you've got a different variation you'd prefer, take that. And then let's make it fun. Bend into your left knee, bring your right knee up. We're gonna move into our tree pose. Right knee out to the side first, and then place your foot to the inside of your left leg, circumventing the knee. We don't really wanna touch there. Pressure your foot into thigh or calf or the ground. And then maybe start with hands at hips, and then at heart. And then challenge your balance, your focus even more. Expanding your hands away from your midline. Feel free to send your gaze up, maybe close your eyes. Keep your core strong by knitting your ribs toward your hips. Find lots of length through the sides of your body, sides of your neck. Okay, whatever arm variation you've taken, bring back to your heart or to your hips. Little bend to your left knee. Take your right knee towards the front of the room. And then you're gonna stand up all the way back until you're in a high lunge once again. And then inhale your arms up toward the ceiling. Yes, straighten the front leg. On an exhale, bring your arms out in front of you, rebend into the front knee. Palms are up. Inhale, thumbs to the back of the room. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale, lift everything up, including the leg. Exhale, arms out like a platter in front of you, rebend. Inhale, thumbs to the back. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, come up. One final time. Exhale, arms out in front, offer with palms up. Inhale, thumbs to the back. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, lift up. And now take warrior two on the right side. So you open up to the right side of your mat. Your left knee bends down, widen out the stance, slight angle to your right foot. Make all the adjustments you need and come to your warrior two. Make sure that your right leg is there to support you as much as your left. And then we'll take the extended side angle. Surf your fingertips and your torso beyond your left knee, and then left forearm to thigh or hand to the mat or block. Scoop your left thigh underneath you. Right fingertips up toward the ceiling, or avoiding just swinging right over, bend at the elbow or take your arm out directly in front of you and then unfurl so that your right bicep is beside your right ear, pinky facing down, left ribs winding up. Breathe. Don't forget about the back leg. It is there for you. And then on an exhale, take your right hand down to the mat, put it onto the ball of your back foot. So you've got your foot to the outside of your left hand here. You might have needed to take your left hand down to get there. We're gonna move to lizard pose. So take the same version that you took this time before, whether your knee was up or down. Left toes might be out slightly to the side. Wherever you are, inhale. Great space. Exhale, use the space and start to descend. Left knee is just gently pulling in toward you, just so it's not splaying out to the side. Okay, start to press your hands into the mat if they aren't already. If your back knee is down, tuck your toes to lift it back up. Find a little bit of momentum. We're going to step forward to that malasana pose, garland pose once again. Your right foot will come to the outside of your right hand, maybe one step, maybe many. If you want to do it in one step, Really lean forward and launch off with your toes and press down through your left foot. This is going to help. Toes out, heels in. Sit low. And again, if you find that you need space for your heels, then use your mat as a prop. Maybe allow your eyes to close. Still find the brightness of your collarbones here. Soften where you can. Release your hands down toward the mat. Start to lift your hips up, letting your legs become straighter. Heel toe them in so that they're hips width distance apart. Ragdoll pose, 3 breaths. If you're taking a grip of your fingertips, release them down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet to reach your arms out and up toward the ceiling. And on exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Keep your hands here or alongside your body. 3 more breaths. If your eyes are closed, blink them open. We're going to move into a dancer pose here. So you're going to shift the weight to your left leg. You're going to kick your right heel behind you. Bring your right arm out to the side. So like palm up, like that platter like we were doing earlier. And then you're simply going to straighten the arm. Bring your hand to the inside of your foot. So your palm is away. Your thumb is nearer your big toe, closer to your toe than your heel. Lift up your left arm toward the ceiling. High five. And then start to press your right foot into your right hand, hand to foot. Use that resistance. See how much you can keep your left hand lifted as you accentuate the arc. Pull your right knee in so it's not splaying out to the side. Just breathe. And on an exhale, start to bring everything back to center. Release the foot, stand down, shake it out a little bit. And then we're gonna take figure 4. You're gonna cross the left ankle over the right thigh. So the opposite leg. Hands to hips or hands to heart. Shift your hips back, flex the foot. Bring your left knee away from you. Inhale, come up to standing. Shake it out again. Okay, we're gonna take the other side. Hands to hips. Start up here. Shift the weight to the right foot. Kick your left heel to your bum. Left arm out to the side. So it's like holding a platter, palm up. Straighten the elbow. Hand to the inside of the foot. All right, right arm up toward the ceiling. High five. Press your foot to hand, hand to foot. Lift, 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 lift. See if you can lift up your chest, lift up your right fingertips. Pull your left knee in close to the other. Breathe. Keep your core strong here. And then on an exhale, start to release. Take your hand down, take your foot down, release it down, shake it out. And then we're gonna take the opposite side, shift the weight to the left, place your right ankle over your left thigh, figure 4 pose, hands to hips or hands to heart. Uncross, stand down. Reach your arms out and up, and then interlace your fingertips, release your index. Arc your hips to the left, arc your arms over to the right. If you notice that your left shoulder starts to come forward, gently guide it back. Keep your core taut, hips towards ribs, ribs towards hips. Inhale, take it up, switch out the interlacing of your fingertips. Hips to the right, arc over to the left. Keep your biceps more in line with your ears. Inhale, take it up to center. Exhale, hands to your heart center. 3 breaths here in Tadasana, with your hands at heart, arms alongside you. First breath is now. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up, palms lift, keep your hands lifted. Bend your knees, sit low, chair pose. And then keep sitting, 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 sitting. How long can you keep your arms lifted? As your bum comes all the way down to the floor, eventually it's going to touch. You're gonna lean back. All right, so scooch back. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs, roll your shoulder blades back, and then start to lean back. Find some strength here. And then if you'd like, you can stay right here if you want to move with me. You're going to lift your shins up. Hands can stay right here, or if you're moving with me, arms alongside. We're going to move from here to Ardha Navasana. So on an inhale, you're going to lower, keep your heels lifted, keep your upper back lifted, look toward your toes. Exhale, draw everything back in, knees to chest. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw in. Twice more. And then drop your feet. Roll over onto your hands and knees. And then cow and cat. Take any organic movements that feel right to you. You might want to be moving your spine in a C shape, maybe just wiggling around. Or maybe even want to take that more dynamic cat-cow flow that we did toward the middle of this class. After your next cat pose, come back to a neutral spine in this tabletop pose. Anahatasana, melting heart. So low belly is strong. Start off there. Then start to walk your hands towards the corners of your yoga mat. Fingertips spread wide, inner elbows up, keeping your hips over your knees. Start to descend your chest down. You might have chin touch, you might have chest touch, but don't come down out of ego so it touches and lose control over what's happening in your midsection. We want to protect our backs here. And then when you're ready on an exhale, press through your hand, bend your elbows, lift all the way back up, walk your hands back so that they are below your shoulders. Shift the weight to your left palm, inhale, right fingertips are up. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath you, come onto your right shoulder. Option to stay here to take a different variation. We'll be here for 5 breaths. At the end of your 5th breath, start to walk your hand back if you took a variation, plus press the left hand. Lift up right fingertips, unfurl towards the ceiling. Exhale, place your right hand down and then immediately shift the weight to the right hand. Left fingertips are up. Stretch, stretch. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath. You're on your left shoulder. And then rock all the way down. If you took an arm variation on the first side, I invite you to take the same one on this side. Once you get to where you're going, 5 breaths. At the end of your 5th exhale, when that occurs, walk your right hand back. If you took a variation, press the right palm, left fingertips come all the way up towards the ceiling again. And on an exhale, take your left hand down. Toes to touch, hips to heels, child's pose. If your arms are feeling fatigued, if you'd like to have different kind of blood flow to them, bring your arms alongside your body, palms up, and then drop your head down toward the mat. As you are ready, start to press your way up to sit on your knees, and then bump your hips over to the side. Extend your legs out in front of you. We're going to take a forward fold. We're going to do it so that our chest is always in connection with our thighs for a slightly different experience. So you're going to bend your knees pretty deeply so that when you lean over, you've got a connection chest to thighs. Take your hands to the outsides of your feet. Okay, so it might not be so elegant. It's fine. You're going to start to press your heels out, making distance. If you got a really sticky mat, you've got to like walk them out. But you're going to keep your chest to your thighs. If you notice that you're coming away, you bend your knees, shrug your shoulders back, reach your heart forward. Maybe stay in one spot for several breaths. And then notice if anything has changed, and maybe you straighten your legs a little bit more. Sit for several breaths. Maybe you can find a little bit more distance while still maintaining that connection of your chest to your thighs. Find some flexion to your feet and breathe. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release, come to sit up. Bend your right knee, place your foot into the mat. Set your hands back so you're really leaning back. Beach pose. Inhale, lift your left arm up, twist at your belly, twist at your chest. Elbow to the outside of your left thigh, or if that's not gonna happen today, then just wrap your arm around your shin. Inhale, lift, shift the weight to your left hip so it's not on the right. Exhale, twist. Inhale, take your gaze back to the front. Unravel, take a counter twist, leaning out all the way to the side. Reach your right arm out long, drop your head. And press your way back up. Extend your right leg out, pull your left knee in so it's to the inside of your left knee. And then take your left here. Is that right? Yes, left hand behind you. Right arm up toward the ceiling, twist at your belly, twist at your chest. Elbow to the outside of your thigh, lift up, shift the weight. Exhale, twist more deeply. Inhale, send your gaze back to center. Unhook, unravel, counter twist to opposite way. Really rock over onto your right hip. Reach out your left arm long. Get soft. And then press your way back up. Bend both knees and then start to walk your feet together for a Baddha Konasana posture. If you want to get closer, press your hands into the mat, lift up your hips, and then scooch them. You're going to take your hands to your feet. With the activity of your legs, you're pulling your knees down and back. So this is also going to help you tilt forward. Shoulder blades are reaching back, you're tilting forward. Kind of like we were doing with the forward fold. We don't have, obviously, our chest to our thighs here, but you still want to maintain that flat spine as we're coming forward. So press your knees down and back as this helps you tilt forward. Simply breathe. Stay in a spot for several breaths and notice if it changes over time. Relax your face. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, break your pose. Take your hands behind you. If you took that closer diamond, lift up your hips and then scooch your hips back. Take your hands to the backs of your knees and bring them up. Bring your arms out, and then ever so slowly, you're going to rock your way onto your back. If you want to go there fast, you can. Or take a very, very, very slow transition down. Cool. We're going to take a bridge pose here. So walk your feet in a little bit closer now. So when your arms are alongside you, you can just tickle the backs of your heels. All right. Fingertips spread wide, set yourself up. Slide your shoulder blades underneath you. Really give yourself the best starting point for your safety. Press through feet and hands, wave your spine up. Option to stay here, option to grab the sides of your yoga mat, or rock over to one shoulder so the other one can tuck under. Pinky side of hand to mat. Same with the other side, interlace your fingers. Press down, chin is straight up. Your tailbone is reaching towards the backs of your knees. What this is doing is pulling your hips towards your ribs. Same but different. All right, you can stay here, or if you'd like, bring your right knee over your right hip, and then extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. Keep pressing through your left foot and your hands. Rebend, place the foot back down. Shift the weight a little bit more to your right foot. Left knee is up over your hip. Extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. Keep pressing through everything that's touching the mat. Then rebend the top knee, take it down. 3 more breaths here. At the end of your 3rd breath, you're going to start to unravel. If you've taken the clasp, unwind it, shrug off of your shoulders. Lift up your heels and start to wave your spine all the way down, accentuating every curve of your back. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Knock both knees over to the right. Let them stay here for a few moments. Take your knees up to center and then drop them over to the left side. Again, windshield wiper over to the right. And then back to left. Bring your knees right back up. We're going to take that Supta Baddha Konasana posture that we began with. Start to walk the soles of your feet together, letting your knees drop out to the side. Checking in with your body, see what is happening. Perhaps this is a-okay just as it is, or maybe you require a little bit of an adjustment. And again, for your arm placement, your arms can be out to the sides. You can take one hand on heart, one hand on belly, both hands on belly, or hands to mimic, your arms to mimic the shape of your legs. The final posture of this class is Shavasana. If you'd like to take your Shavasana here in your Supta Baddha Konasana posture, please remain. And if you prefer to take a more traditional Shavasana, begin to unwind yourself safely from this posture, but take your hands back to your thighs. And then coming to a full reclined pose. Start to remove the muscle activity as best you can. Drawing away anything that is bringing you back and simply be. Start to invite some more breath into your body and then more movement. Maybe choosing to leave something behind. When you're ready, there's no rush, there's plenty of time. Roll over onto your right side, pausing for several moments, pulling your knees in closer to your chest, perhaps using your arm as a pillow. And then with your eyes closed, or a very soft gaze, make your way to a seated posture of your choice for brief reflection and meditation. On an inhale, bring your arms out and up, palms to press above your head. And on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and then to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart, recognizing that you can let go. Let go or be dragged. Namaste.